This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, you clicked on this because you want to get better, and not just technically, but in a way that gets you noticed, booked, and respected. You want to know why your work isn't standing out, even though you're putting in time and making real photographs. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why and what to do about it. Sometimes I have to wear those sunglasses because, I'm trying to be cool. Most photographers think that the secret to becoming unstoppable is making better pictures, but better isn't enough. The truth is, you could be making your best work ever and still not getting hired because you're making not because you're making bad pictures, but because you're making the wrong pictures. Not wrong technically, but wrong for your market. You have to make the right work for the right market. The photographers who take off, they're not just talented, they're intentional. They're making the right pictures for the right clients, images that solve a need, fit a style, and speak the industry's language. Today inside Portfolio Lab, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like through some real photo reviews. And if your work isn't getting traction yet, this is likely the reason. By the end of this session, you're going to know exactly how to fix it. If you don't know me, by the way, I'm Carty. I've been a professional photographer for 35 years. I've shot celebrities for global brands. I've shot magazine covers, advertising campaigns, and still, I review work every single week. Why? Because when I was a new photographer, when I was in photography school, I had my work reviewed every single week. And into my career now, 35 years in, I still have coaches that look at my work every single week because that's how you grow. By seeing how your work holds up, where it stands out, and where it falls short. So, Portfolio Lab, which is what you're watching right now, we do this twice a week on YouTube, and once a week on Zoom, which today is a Thursday. Thursdays, we do deep dives on Zoom, breaking down one aspect of your packaging triangle, your work, your presentation, and most importantly, your positioning. So, today, you're about to watch me review a fresh batch of submissions live so you can learn in real time. I promise you, whether your work is featured today or not, whether you submitted, if you pay attention, if you take notes, and if you apply what you learn, this is going to be one of the most valuable photography lessons you're going to get for free. Today, we are looking at your self-portraits, and I'm super excited and pumped about your self-portraits because I give this assignment probably 3 times a year. And know this, self-portraits is one of the most important things as a photographer that you can create. So today I give a pro level assignment. I've given a pro level assignment. Hey, Frank Tom has become a member. Let's go, Frank Tom. Welcome to the crew. You got a crown next to your name, my guy. Frank, I'd give you the smoke, but we got the air conditioning on, so we're going to have to give you some virtual smoke. Okay, so for week 27, what we're in, I want you to create a compelling self-portrait that showcases your personality, your style, and your creative vision, while also demonstrating your technical skills behind the camera. The goal is that this isn't just a headshot. It's a statement piece, a complete statement piece that tells your story as a photographer and as a creative professional. So what I'm asking you to do is step in front of your own lens and practice what you preach. I wanted you to focus on authentic expression, compelling body language, and a styling that reflects your personal brand. If you shoot places, incorporate yourself into an environment that represents your creative identity. Show yourself in your element. Let the location enhance your narrative as a photographer. And if you shoot things, if that's your niche, create a self-portrait that includes you with your essential tools and creative objects. Make it feel authentic to your brand and your working style. Now, let me tell you why this matters. Self-portraits are essential for building your personal brand and connecting with clients on a human level. They show that you understand both sides of the camera and that you can demonstrate your technical abilities and give authentic content for your website, social media, and marketing. So in an industry built on trust and personal connection, you have to show your face. You have to show your face and your personality. That makes clients feel like they know you even before they've worked with you. Now, I asked for a vertical image, and we have Is it 19 submissions? And also, by the way, we are joined by my very special guest all the way from Cape Town, South Africa. He is 13,100 kilometers away. I present to you Mr. Garan Rath. Let's get it on, Garan. Thanks for being here, my guy. I appreciate you.
Only a pleasure, Carty. How's it, everybody? I'm looking forward to the show. Yes, 19 submissions today.
All right, brother, give it to me. Who do we got up
Right,
first?
so let's start up with this photographer says, always a challenge, but always worth it. Hopefully, I can use this to update my website. Canon R6 Mark II, 50mm 1.8, shot at 1/250th of a second, f6.3, ISO 100.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first submission. This is from Mr. Steven Bordeaux. Steve, let's get it on. Steve, this is a yes for me. This is a yes for me. It's a vibe. I know that, I mean, you're not always expected to have a camera in your like self-portraits, but you're wearing Carty Crew merch. You have the photographer tee, the gaff tee. Let's look at this close up. For me, this is a yes, Steve. Like, it really, like, good light, like good quality light. The Rembrandt could have gone just a little bit further, like as far as pushing that light just a little bit further, but still the way that you split the difference, for me, this is a yes. And one of my favorite self-portraits, I would say, of Steve. It's good cover composition, like it's perfect cover composition. It also works as an 8x10. Garan, give me your 2 cents. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I really like this self-portrait of Steve because he's staying true to his lighting style. I've seen him do this particular style a whole bunch of times now, so I'm very happy that he used that kind of lighting style. He looks casual, but still very focused on his audience, his intent, with the eye contact that he's got. So following the brief, absolute tick there. And yeah, Steve, you look great on camera, man. You should do it more often.
Yeah, that's a win for me. That is definitely a win. Steve, let's hide these. Steve, that's an 11 for me. Well done. Very, 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 very well done. Very,
Nice.
very, 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 very well done. All right, Garan.
Next shooter says, hey Carty and crew, this is my self-portrait, shot on a Nikon D850 24 to 75mm lens, f11, ISO 100, 1/60th of a second with 2 strobes.
All right. I'm excited to see who we have next. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Denise Tuggle. Denise, let's get it on. Denise, I'm so happy that you did this. I'm so happy that you shot this. And I'm so happy that you put yourself out there and put yourself in front of the camera. I'm liking this, G. Do you want to give me, like, I mean, again, composition-wise, and I don't think that Denise has really ever put herself, like, out here in this professional way. I think this is a yes for me. It's clean. It's professional. There's good light on her. She's projecting. This is a yes. For me, it crops down to an 8x10 really well. The color is bold. It contrasts the background. For me, this is an absolute 11 for me, G. Give me your 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you there, Carty. I think that there was very clever styling choice of Denise using the very vibrant color on herself against the stark dark background. And again, she shows confidence. She's having direct eye contact with her audience. And I think it's a great shot of herself. So I'm very proud of her. And yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I think this is super dope. Thanks so much, Denise, for submitting. That was great. Amazing. So, G, who do we have next?
All right, next photographer says, here's my self-portrait. I only tried this one other time since getting serious with photography, and man, it's hard. Shot on an A6700 30mm f2.8, so 2/3 sensor, ISO 200, 1/160th of a second, f7.1, and then 1 strobe with a snoot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. JV. JV, thanks for submitting. Gee, I mean, he has something here. There's definitely a vibe. For me, it's the placement of light and the fact that the way that the light is placed, it's really, we're only getting a little bit of his face. I really feel like some sort of reflector in here kicking back, like some sort of detail so we can see the camera. Yes, I see the small rig logo, but and like your hand position and the fact that you're holding it in front of your eye, yes, I'm guessing that it's a camera. But the lack of detail, let me just hide these circles, the lack of detail that's coming in from camera left, you need a reflector here, Jay. You need a second light source back here that's giving you some sort of a separation from the background. Like, I honestly, I don't think that he's using enough light in this. Like, one strobe in his snoot. Like, the snoot, for me, that brings the amount of light down so small, and then where that snoot is hitting your face, it's not hitting your face right. It's hitting down here instead of like the center of your face. If the snoot hit exactly the center of your face, then you would have caught some of that camera. So for me, it's like the snoot placement isn't right, and I wouldn't light this with a snoot personally. A snoot is a background accent light. It's not a main light. That makes the source of light so small, which makes the overall picture underexposed. Use an umbrella, use a softbox, and the difference is what we got from, say, a Steve, like Steve Bordeaux. And like, that's just the difference between going from a snoot as the main source and a softbox as the main source. So for me, your choice of modifier for this particular picture was not the exact modifier that I think that I would use. G, give me your 2 cents.
Yeah, JV, you've got a very interesting look. I think you should definitely play around with more self-portraits. This is underlit, although the exposure on the face is there, but there's not enough detail in the rest of the scene to really engage with us. And I agree. If you had moved over a little bit more to the right-hand side of frame, so that more of your hand was in the shot, I think that would have been a compositionally a bit stronger as well. But yeah, I think keep playing with it, keep trying. It is difficult doing self-portraits because we can't see exactly what's in the frame necessarily. But yeah, keep going, man.
Yeah, this is, again, Jay, I don't want to discourage you. This is a really good swing. You just need to you need to do them more often. You said, I think that this is the second time ever that I've done this. You need to be in front of the camera. You're a handsome guy. You have a very unique look. Be like, own that person that you're trying to be as the photographer, because I'll remind you, people don't hire strangers. They don't hire strangers. People hire people that they know and like. And the beginning of your clients getting to know you is through social, and it's how you show yourself on social media. If you look at, just to give an example, if you look at my social, here we go. If you look at my social media, like if you just pull my Instagram and look at my Instagram, you'll see, obviously feature picture, but then you see me, and then you see me again, and you see me again, and you see me and my brother, and you see me in my car. And when I do posts, and this is something that's really important to see, when I do posts, oops, let me just center this. When I do posts, it's like the portrait I shot, then it's me making the portrait. And then another portrait I shot, and then me making that portrait. And then another portrait I shot, and then me hanging on set while I'm making that portrait. And then other stuff that happened in Montreal. So we can make our posts way more engaging if we include ourselves in with the other stuff that we're doing. Like, we can show desk space, and I'm lecturing at York University, and my girl and my dog, and, you know, me lecturing at OCAD University, but next to work. Like, it's important to add a little bit of personality, a little bit of you into your social feed. It makes it way more dynamic. So a little bit of advice for everybody. And Jay, do use your own likeness to leverage yourself as a photographer. Because I'll remind you, nobody hires people that they don't know and like. Starts with you getting in front of the camera doing selfies and ends with you having a YouTube channel. Okay. All right, Grant, who's next?
Right, the next shooter is one of our regulars. He says, first time shooting tethered. Your workshops are a blessing. Thanks in advance for your review. Shot on a Sony a7C with a Samyang 35 1.4 lens, ISO 80 f4 at 1/160th of a second with one strobe and a curved reflector.
All right. This is Mr. We're going to call him William Sedgwick. William, let's get it on. William, this is good. And Grant and I were talking about your in-camera settings, and let me just look at this first. Let's show the both of us. Let me show you this as a cover. I feel like you're a little low in the frame. You're clipping your elbows. You could definitely, like, look at all the top space that you have. You could definitely have had your head end here and then not clipped the bottom of your elbows, right? You got not lots of shoulder space on both sides, but the way that you're dropping your eye line, I'm not saying it's dead center in the frame, but the way that you're dropping your eye line is very close to like halfway through the picture. Like if you look at your head in general, it's very in the center of a big frame. And I want you to be thinking like you're shooting a magazine cover. So that head should be up here. That's one thing that I'm thinking. Your light is good. Your light, it's very competent light. I like the contrast of the white shirt on the black background. You're holding your camera. You're very approachable and friendly. The thing that we were noticing is your saturation. And I think in your camera, and I'm not talking about in post, but in camera, because Garan has seen your raw files, Garan said that in camera, this is what your files look like. So because this is what your files look like, you have contrast. This is in camera settings. You have contrast and it's like 0, and we'll call this 5 and we'll call this -5. And then you have sharpness. And then of course you have 0, we'll call it +5, and you got it -5. And then you have color. And then, +5, -5. I want you to make sure that all of your sliders are at pretty close to 0, at 0. What I'm betting is your saturation slider is below 0, because this is looking like it's at about, I'm going to call it 60% color. And I'm talking without pushing. I feel like it's about 60% color. So the best way to fix that is to look at your camera settings in here. And I know you're not shooting Canon. I only know Canon settings. But if I go over into my picture styles, give me a sec, let me get my camera body.
Yeah, William, I see. I noticed you're also on a Sony. So in community, let me know. I think I might know which picture profile you're on.
Okay, so let me show you. Like on Canon, we power on, and then I go menu, and then here it says picture style, and right now it says neutral. So if I click that, and then you can see all of these numbers, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0. So you click that further, and I'm going to say info set. So now you're looking at, it says sharpness, strength, fineness, threshold, contrast, and I can scroll up and show you saturation, 0, color tone, 0, 0, 0, 0. So that's kind of, I shoot in a very neutral profile, but you have to make sure that you're not shooting in one that is very hello focus, that you're not shooting in one that is pushing everything down. Because if you look at my color profile here and like my skin color and skin tone, and if you look here, you see how you're undersaturated. That's the thing that we're noticing, and that's what we're trying to help you fix. So, William, a very good swing. G, you give me your thoughts.
So my only comment for William, I think, would be because I know you over the Zooms, William, and in the community, you're a very friendly, lively, great guy. So the body language a little bit for me with the arm crossed over like that closes you off slightly for me, and this is again just my personal feeling. With the composition coming slightly down, that hand maybe touching the pocket or thumb hooked in the pocket would be a more relaxed body tone or body language, and I think that would then match your smile, because at the moment your smile and your body language don't really talk the same or don't give me the same feeling. But overall, lighting's fantastic, exposure is great. A very, very competent picture. Well done, man.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I'm giving you an 11 on this one, William. Well done. Well done. That is William Sedgwick. Mr. Garanrath, who do we have next?
All right, our next shooter says, I am not comfortable with self-portraits, but I am trying. Shot on a Sony A9, or A99, sorry, Minolta 50mm 1.4 lens, f5, ISO 400 at 1/40th of a second with available light. And this is one of our newer shooters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a newer shooter. We have Alexander Klasnia. Alexander, thanks for submitting. I appreciate you. Listen, when you're new to being in front of the camera, it's important to put yourself in front of the camera. You have to try. Like, that's the thing. Like, you just have to keep trying. Light-wise, for me, this is a yes. Location-wise, it's kind of, the park makes it feel a little like, and also it looks like you're just holding the camera up and trying to, the sunglasses break the eye contact with the viewer. Believe me, from me being in the darkroom from age 14 until age 34, my eyes are incredibly sensitive to light, meaning I can't go outside because I can see in the dark. I can't go outside without sunglasses. And also just even lights on me, after a while, like, it's way more comfortable for me here to be wearing these. I'm like, oh, so much better. But for you, the viewer, me wearing sunglasses, like, we're not connecting the same way as when I don't. So that's something when it comes to your self-portrait, you're needing to project to your audience. And for me, the no eye contact and the sunglasses and the top-down view remove this from being a self-portrait to being more like an observation kind of it looks like someone else shot this. Compositionally, Alexander, it's just, we got to center this frame and we can't be looking down. It's got to be this, and it also has to be eye contact. Where you're dropping the horizon line up here with all kinds of, like, up here is just distracting. The non-centered is distracting. And looking in at your processing, it looks like you're also doing some destructo slider with like the skin softening slider, which is another thing that we don't do because it makes your whole image look ghosty and it lowers the overall quality of the sensor. So all of that is kind of for me to say, again, it's a good swing and it takes bravery to shoot a self-portrait, but there's fundamentals like that, like the processing, the crop, and the location. Garan, give me what your thoughts are.
Yeah. Look, I understand completely where you come from with not being comfortable with self-portraits, and definitely when I started with the Carty method, I was feeling exactly the same. But it's one of the things that we learn here is we have to get in front of the camera. We have to know what it's like for our audience, and the people, our clients that we're going to be working with. So getting behind the camera or in front of your own camera and shooting self-portraits is a process of self-discovery. I definitely encourage it. But I agree with you, Carty, completely. A little bit low in the frame, and it's a pity about the eye contact. Would have been really nice to get to know Alexander a bit better through seeing him make contact with the camera.
Yeah, the eye contact. It's just you're not present in this photo. You're not connecting with the most important person in this photo is the viewer. It's not you taking the picture or you as the subject. It's the viewer who is seeing it, which essentially is us. We're the viewer. So the viewer has to connect with the subject. So for me, when I do self-portraits, and I do a lot of them, when I do self-portraits, like I use them in my about page. This is a shot that a photographer did, so that is not a self-portrait. But this is a self-portrait, and the eye contact, the no sunglasses, the friendly approachability, it brings likability. And again, this is my contact page. It brings likability and connection. So eye contact, super, super important, but a very good swing. And I know, Alexander, this stuff is hard to do, so I appreciate you doing it. Thanks for submitting, Alexander.
Alrighty. Next up, our shooter says, Doyle Daniels inspired me to have some fun with this one. This was done on a Sony a7 III 50mm f1.4 with ISO 160th, f5.6 and 100th of a second with one strobe and a V flat.
Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, our next shooter is Mr. Malik Brand. Malik, thanks for submitting. So, Malik, it is all about how you're holding the camera and what you're doing with your mouth. And it looks like you're voguing, bro. It looks like you're, like, doing this. We don't hold cameras like they're Fabergé eggs. We don't hold cameras like they're Fabergé eggs. We hold them like how we hold them when we're using them. So this picture, the light, yes. The set, yes. The pose, absolutely no. Because this, watch. I'm going to do the exact same thing that you're doing. Okay? Like this. Or camera, you lean, and you're just doing this. You're just looking at the camera, like your camera's here. You're holding it like you would hold it when you shoot with it. And you're just looking here. So that has impact. And it, like, for me, this picture that you're showing, it looks almost like you're making fun of, like it's a satire photo. To me, it doesn't look at all like you're taking it seriously. Your fingers are too close to the edge. It's, for me personally, too femme. It's too femme, completely. You need, like, yeah. Even this, like, the styling is good. The set is good. The light is good, although you need a little bit more contrast. But how you're holding the camera, Malik, oh my God, no. Garan, give me your 2 cents on this.
I agree with you. The light I think is really fantastic. You do have the tabletop in front of you, Malik, so it really would have been nice if you kind of utilize that. Otherwise, now in this shot, it's not motivated for me. So it kind of bothers my eye that there is that white piece at the bottom of the frame. But if you were using it in the photo, like Carty says, leaning on it and sort of engaging a little bit more, coming more forward towards the viewer, then it would have really worked. So I think set this up again, shoot it again, and let us see in the community what you do with it, man.
Yeah, this, you have to take this shit seriously, Malik. Seriously. Like, you have to, like, this is a tool, like a hammer. It's a hammer. So Doyle's saying, I take responsibility. He says he told people to have fun with it and posted random shots of him messing around. He's telling people to like have fun with it, and he's saying he's taking responsibility. For me, it's such a miss that it's like I'm getting frustrated. You know what I mean? It's such a miss because it's like you're on the fucking Price is Right. How can this picture be used in real life? How? You know what I mean? So for me, this entire thing, it's so close, but at the same point, it is so far. It's so far. He would never put this out there. I'm hoping that you would never put this out there because it's going to make people talk. So this is an absolute miss the boat kind of a photo here, Malik Brand. Thanks for submitting, my guy. All right, Grant, who do we have next?
Right, next up, our shooter is shooting on a Sony a7R5 with a 24 to 70 millimeter GM2 lens, 50 millimeter f11 at 250th of a second at ISO 100.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Mike Morrison. Mike, thanks for submitting. Mike, this is a yes for me. This is a yes. I mean, you're a photographer, but you're also like a race car driver, and a race car photographer. Like you shoot cars, and this is very of the minute. I love the plexi floor. The light is really, really good. I'm sure you're shooting with your pro camera, Mike, but if you could have had a camera in that right hand, helmet in one hand, camera in the other, like now we're talking. But other than that, man, the full-on race kit this is a yes for me. You tell me what you think, Garan.
Yeah, Mike, this look suits you, man. Love the color. The pop of the red is really great. Great expression on your face. Good stance as well. I like the fact that you're a little bit three-quarter, not just straight onto the camera. And I'd love to see that studio, like a BTS shot of that studio, because it looks phenomenal what you've done there. So well done, man.
This is a good one. Thanks, G. BTS of this, seeing this shot maybe pulled out just a little bit to reveal the fifth wall and the light stands and the plexi and the seamless and just showing us a little bit more of this. I'd love to see. Also, you could probably help the Portfolio Lab community if you perhaps included a light diagram. And again, I know this is a 2 light white. There should be another light coming in here. This is why we have like darkness on this side and such pure white on this side. You do see the transition. So what Mike is doing here, he's here. He has one light on this side, but then he has a second light over here pushing back here. My suggestion on these type of pictures, Mike, is take that second light and put it over here. So you're filling in on the shadow side and you're using this light to kind of fill in this side. So it'll give you just a little bit more balance. And if you were using 3 lights on this white, it goes like subject here. This is 4 feet, then your light goes here. This is 4 feet, then your light goes here, and this light hits here, and this light hits here, and you put your subject in the center. This is a bad diagram, but the whole idea is to get this whole thing at, say, f22, and then you do 2 stops under, and you shoot this at f11. So that's a very, very, very loose way to tell you how to do a perfect white, but this is a very much an 11 out of 10. That is Mike Morrison. Mike, very well done. Very, very, very well done. Garan, who do we have next?
All right, our next shooter says, had the idea and just executed. The idea is a thumbnail for landing pages and CTAs using text like Y photography, giving a BTS feel with the light, showing the execution. Shot on a Canon R3 with a 24 to 105 lens, shot at 35 millimeters and ISO 125 f13 at 1/60th of a second.
All right, I'm excited for this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is Marcus Mack. Marcus, let's get it on. Marcus, oh my, like Marcus. Yes, I actually want to flip my desk. I just want to throw all my stuff. I want to start pounding on walls. It's like, Marcus, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Marcus. Marcus has been with me for 1.5 years. Like 18 months I've been helping this photographer develop. Marcus is also the youngest shooter in my program. Marcus is 22, going on 23 years old. I see myself in this guy. And this brings me such joy. I feel like I'm going to cry. I can't talk, Grant. You got to talk. You got to talk.
Yes, sir.
All right, so great shot, Marcus. My only comment is I would have loved a little bit more headroom between the light and your head.
Sure.
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 I think you can punch in a little bit even on post crop, so the light doesn't have to have red room. It can.
I like seeing the stand here. I like seeing the stand.
Yeah.
I like seeing the sandbag. I would in fact bring in more stand. I agree. You could sky this because you do have room up here, but I also want you to look at it like this, Garan, when we do an 8x10 and how much I'm already losing when we go to an 8x10, as like I'm losing the top of the light or I'm losing his feet. Like, I don't have a lot of room for him to move up. As a cover, you can see editorially it works. I see what you're saying. Yes, but honestly, it couldn't go much more than twice that distance. It couldn't really go much more than twice that distance. For me, what I would love to see is if he could have his camera, but he can't because he's shooting with his R3. The horizon line, look how low the horizon line is. Like, look how low the horizon line is. Look how he's balancing elements coming in on a camera right, but also he has elements balancing in on camera left. Look at the cloud and how the cloud, it doesn't create any distractions. Look at the exposure on his face. Look at his outfit. It's just, for me, it just hits. And it hits so hard. And for me, the reason that this hits so hard and the reason that I get emotional is because he took a risk. And like, he swung for the fences, and this one was a grand slam. So for me, like, like the styling works and his pose and like all of this, like it works. And for me, this is unequivocally a 13 out of 10. Give me one more. Give me last thoughts on this before we wrap up with Marcus. This is a yeah for me.
Well, I think the thing that you and I have also discussed about Marcus is we want him to take more big swings and want him to take more risks, and hopefully this is that first step to him waking up and starting to reach his full potential, because he's going to go places, that's for sure.
This is a perfect shot for him to recreate in a different scene with a model where he's behind the camera and he shows, like, let that. And also, if he didn't show the light and just zoomed in on, like, it's still great. Like, if you don't see the behind the scenes, it's still great light. So it's like, I want him to bring this back on so many different ways. Bring this light back, bring this big ass boom and going out on, like, bring this back, Marcus, because do this for half a year and this is going to become part of your style. And adding this type of work into your portfolio is going to really push you up those rungs. This is absolutely a yes for me. That's an 11, Marcus. Well done, buddy. Very proud of you.
Right. Our next shooter is one of our new accelerator members, and they say, walked out the door tonight without my trigger, but didn't have much time, so I did my best with the setting sun. Shot on an Sony A7 R3, 28-70 at 51 millimeters, ISO 500, f8, 1/200th of a second, and with natural light.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Allison Dilla. Allison, thanks for submitting. Allison, it's just the exposure. It's just the overall exposure that is really killing this image. If you can see the exposure that Grant has on his face on his camera, see the exposure I have on my face on my camera, and see where your exposure is dropping, for me, this kind of goes beyond the acceptable like third of a stop level and is starting to get into the under 2/3 of a stop, or even possibly under a full stop on the exposure. In order to hold this beautiful sky, we really need to kick in some studio light on you here. The motorcycle is dope. The outfit that you're wearing is dope, and the location that you chose is dope. See, like the saddlebags and the black helmet, like it's all dope, and even the pose is dope. It's just the overall exposure, and I question whether, I mean, your focus is there, but I question whether once you pull the exposure or try to recover this picture, whether you're going to actually just really start losing a lot in the whites. Give me your thoughts, G.
Yeah, so I think the only thing is exposure, really. And like Alison says, she unfortunately left without her trigger, so that's probably why we don't have that extra flash. But I'm glad she did this, and I really encourage her to maybe redo this picture because
Have to.
she she is looking for a new about section um, photograph, and I felt that the one she had, and with the direction the way she's going, she needed to show us a little bit more of her, like her real personality. And I really think this is authentic, and this is exciting to see Alison going in this direction. So well done on that. I think the composition is great. Everything else is good. Just get that extra light in there.
So go back with your trigger so you can get that light in. And here's my suggestion is shoot some with you sitting on the back of the bike like this, yes. But then also get off the bike and walk towards camera and give me that like just badass standing in, but your bike is in the background. Obviously you're wearing all your motorcycle stuff. That to me is like, just come hither towards camera. Leave this, like, just get a little bit bigger in the frame. I think that would be something that could be super dope. Looking forward to your next shoot with this Miss Alison Diller. Thanks for submitting. Well done. Who do we got next, G?
Our next shooter, I'm happy to see them again. We haven't seen them for a while. I need hours and hours of artificial lighting reps. Shot on a Sony A7 III 85mm ISO 100 f11 at 1/100th of a second with a Godox DP400.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the return of Mr. Gary Rishi. Gary, let's get it on. So Gary, this is a yes for me. Like I kind of am feeling this shot. You got so much going on with the cable connected and the phone as the trigger and the Godox and the light and the mirror. It's just like you got a lot of stuff going on. Sadly, the color balance is off because I'm imagining that this is a white wall. I'm imagining that you haven't painted it this color of yellow, right? So this is white balance. So you just use your eyedropper, dink, you touch that, and then this neutralizes to gray. But the light that you have on your face is great. The fact that you're like hugging, like it's just for me, and the expression on your face, like it's disarming and likable, if that makes any sense to me. Like it's disarming and likable. Like I like it. Gee, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I also really like this shot. When I was prepping the show earlier today, I got this, and this is a side of Gary I haven't seen before. So I was pleasantly surprised when I saw the shot. Well done, Gary. Apart from the color balance, not much else I can say. The exposure is great. I like the placement of the light. Maybe if you just sort of put your foot on your weight on your right foot so that your chin just misses that the camera slightly.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a small adjustment. Otherwise,
Smart.
great. And I'm excited to see some of the new work you've been putting on your website, Gary. Well done.
Yeah, good. This is, again, Gary, very likable. This is when Garand says that this is a side of you that, like, this is disarming. You're disarmed here, and you're awkward and kind of laughing at yourself and trying to do a lot of things at once. And I agree, if you kind of just pulled yourself out just a little bit. But I want to really give you props on light, on non-distractions, and on taking this serious. And you had the problem, how do I shoot the camera, shoot with my pro camera, and also have the camera in the picture? So you solved this problem all in this one catch. So this is an 11 for me, Mr. Rishi. Well done, Gary. Well done. Thanks for submitting. G.
Right. So that we're halfway through the show, boss.
All right. We're cooking.
Yeah. Let's go on to the next person. It says, in my playground, 2 pictures combined, focus stack, natural dark light after 3 days of rain. Sony A7 IV, 16 to 35 millimeters at 28 millimeters. ISO 250, f11, 1/100th of a second, plus 1/500th of a second.
Hey, so
I see what you did.
two different exposures. All right, guys, you're not ready for this. Mr. Samuel Sowling. Samuel, you hit this out of the park, mister. You're an architecture photographer. And the way that these buildings are like tucking over your shoulder, Samuel, I didn't know what you were going to do for your self-portrait, but I am so proud of you, my guy. This hits so hard. It's intelligent. It's understated. It's modest, but it's also professional. I like this so much. Double the 2 exposures. I understand why. I feel like you still could go a little bit darker with background and kind of pull those clouds and that ominousness in a little bit more. Garand, how do we make this better?
I almost want to say, but I'm saying this with great caution. I almost want to say if the camera was slightly higher so that the buildings were a little bit taller than Samuel. But again, I don't know if that's going to work. But I think it's a great shot. It is telling us about Samuel and what he does, what he shoots. So very competent shot. I don't actually have much criticism.
Yeah, okay. So here's what I would say. I would not change the camera angle at all. I would say 1 step back is going to reveal a little bit more buildings. Okay, and it's going to bring the buildings up in a little bit more. So let him push back just a little bit and then lower the headspace a centimeter. And that's my picture. For me, like the quality of light, the sensibility, the confidence, his outfit, like it just hits. And this is unequivocally an 11. This is a yes for me. And again, this is why I'm telling you, like, I love giving this exercise. And it's so important for photographers to shoot self-portraits. It's so important for your confidence. Like, I can't tell you how important it is. And also, like, putting yourself out there and just like the confidence to put yourself out there. And like, I think that it's very necessary. Let me see if I can find something here. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, it might be harder than I thought to find. Yeah, possibly too hard to find. All right, we go on, G. We go on.
All right. Next one is the photographer says, time for less. Here is my self-portrait shot on a Fuji X Pro 3 with a 50mm, ISO 320, 1/125th of a second, f5.6, flash with an umbrella. I really like this one.
All right, guys, I'm very excited. I mean, I'm always excited to see your work. I get really excited when I'm seeing photographs that you're making of yourself. Our next shooter, very excited about this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daniel Van Cleef. Daniel, guy, Daniel, this is a yes for me. Like this hits. It's like his shoulders are centered, but his head is kind of offset. Let's look at this as a cover. Like, I love the sensibility. I love the feel, and I love the quality of light. Like, Daniel makes really good self-portraits, so my standard with Daniel, I always like expect something elevated when this guy makes a self-portrait. What are your thoughts, G?
So I've really enjoyed watching Daniel just go from strength to strength, as he's been part of the Carty method. And this shot for me, this is the Daniel I've come to know and understand as a photographer. Like this really shows me who he is, the style he shoots in, his sensibility. I love the shot of Daniel. Perhaps a little bit of full on the dark side of his face, tiny bit, but it's such a cool shot, and it's such a tale of his personality. So for me, that's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, how tight that is versus this, but I do see his shoulders are squared. And yes, possibly his hat would cover any reflector coming in here from the place that I want it to come from, which is like behind him. Do you know what I mean? But it would put a little bit of like polish on that back shoulder. But he's doing this like Richard Avedon kind of like super dark shadow, and he's doing it well. So I don't want to like, it's like a pro baseball player. If a pro baseball player is hitting grand slams, like, you don't change anything. You don't change what they're eating. You don't change what they're doing in their morning routine. You don't change anything as long as they keep hitting those home runs. So Daniel's one of those guys, like, I don't want to change anything with this guy because he keeps hitting home runs. Daniel, I appreciate you. This is a very, very good swing. We're giving you an 11 on that one, mister. Well done. Very well done. It's Daniel Van Cleef, everybody.
Okay, next up. The shooter says, hey Carty, for this assignment, I just leaned into my hip-hop and nerdy background. Shot on a Sony a7 III, 50mm f1.8, ISO 200 f5.6, 1/10 of a second, with 2 lights.
All right, everybody, this is Mr. Jordan White. Jordan, thanks for submitting, my guy. Thank you for submitting. So for me, exposure is the first thing that I see, G. If you, again, just look at the exposure here on his skin, look at the exposure here on my skin, and you see the light here. This is under by, I'm going to call this from half to 2/3 of a stop underexposed. Now, I'm not sure what kind of light you're using. Are you using strobe or are you using LED? Does he specify, G?
No, just 2 lights. That's all he said. But I'm going to assume it's strobe because he's shooting at 1/10 of a second. So LEDs would not, unless he's very still.
At 1/10 of a second, definitely he can do LEDs. But again, the problem is, I think one light I see, if you just look at his eyes, I can see one light is very directly where camera is. And it looks like those LED panel lights. And then if you look at this shadow is coming from this light. So what he is doing is he is here, and then he is putting one light there and one light there, which is exactly what you do when you don't know how to light. And I can see the second highlight in this eye right here. So that's one light, that's the second light. So he's definitely just cross lighting, which essentially creates weird shadows on the face, because you have a no shadow here, no shadow there, but then you also have this shadow going across this side of the face from the light that you're putting over there. So you need to watch everything that I've put out on my channel on lighting. I have like 2 different ways to flatter a subject with one light. You need to learn how to light with one light before you learn to light with 2. And the misconception is you put in one light and then you cancel the shadows with the other light. And that is not what you do. And for me, the light, you're pulling back, which is giving you a double chin. You don't have a double chin, but anytime there's a photo of a guy, it's not like, it's always head. So what you're doing, you're not pulling your head back, you're pulling your head in. Like, look at the difference. Just that, extending your head out and pulling your head in. You're pulling your head in. You can see by what's happening under here. Like, you're taking your chin away because you're pulling your neck in. And also, you are not happy to do this, my guy. You look pissed. You look like you lost your best friend. So why have that expression? And then the camera is an afterthought, because the converse are more important than the camera. And that's why the camera is like under this hand, and it's like you look at this shot 10 times and you don't notice that you're holding this camera. So for me, you care more about the shoes than you do about you being a photographer. And there's too many patterns. Distracting, 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 distracting. Like, you have a lot of like just colors and busyness going on. Just to give you the comparison, what do you see when you look at my picture? You see me. You know why? Because I'm not ornamenting myself. There's no glasses, there's no hat, it's just me. Like, that's what I'm trying to like lock in. So it's like, and the shoes around the neck tied like that, bro, nobody does that. Nobody ties their shoes around their neck like that in 2025. And I understand you're trying to throw back to hit, but it just ends up not working. It just ends up not working. And those aren't the shoes. They're not new. They're dirty shoes. It's not, for me, this is a miss. You need a plain black t-shirt and a contrast between what you're wearing and the background, or contrast with light. For me, this is a bit of a miss, Jordan. But again, you have to keep doing these and you have to keep trying. You can't shoot because you got a bad review, not shoot any more self-portraits. You have to keep shooting them. And the reason that mine are so good is because I shoot hundreds of them a month because of thumbnails and social media and all that stuff. So you got to get used to doing this and used to posing for them and not pulling your head back. So this one is, and please don't submit this for the Converse assignment, as I'm seeing Bino saying this would be great for the Converse assignment. Please no. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes you can't listen to my commenters because they're not me. All right. Garan, thoughts?
So you made a video about wearing too many brands, and therefore you're actually not behind any one of those brands. And I think, Jordan, go watch that video. This is kind of what's happening here. There's too many elements, and therefore we're not locking you into one of those elements. And again, exposure, a little bit of separation from the background if you're going to be wearing a black t-shirt, so some light on your shoulders from the back to try and, you know, create a little bit of a rim light to separate you, and have more fun with it, man. You don't have to be such a serious guy. Like, just play with it. Do 100 exposures, each with a different expression, and start getting to know yourself in front of the lens, and relax with yourself, because I think there's a very fun-loving person there, and you've got very, very interesting hobbies and outlooks on the world, and show us that in your self-portrait.
But you don't have to show every single thing in one picture. You don't have to say, I like hats, I wear glasses, I like Converse, and I'm a photographer. You don't have to try to say so many things in one photo, because what it ends up looking is it looks like overstyled, over ornamented. If you want to show Converse, they should be on your feet, and shoot a picture where you're crouching down so I see you with your feet, so I see your whole look. Because I've exactly worn like shoes around my neck like that exactly 0 times, and I've seen that happen exactly 0 times. And I understand it's like a throwback to hip hop, but they're not around your neck, bro. They're up over the string to say that there's a guy over there selling weed. Like, they're up over hydro wires. Like, that's why the only time you tie them together is when you're throwing them over a hydro wire. So wearing it around your neck, for me, I don't get it. Yeah, for me, Jordan, I've gone too hard on this one already, wearing too many brands, and you're waving too many flags, and the only flag you need to wave is your own. All right, that is Jordan White. Thanks for submitting, Jordan. Who do we got, D? Who do we got, G?
All right, our next shooter is always a fun one when it comes to these assignments. He says, kept it simple and lighthearted this week, but still aimed for a clean execution. Tried not to overthink it for once. Nikon Z8 50mm f1.2, ISO 400 at 1/60th of a second, f8, and then with a 3-light setup.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Doyle Daniels. Doyle, let's get it on. Doyle, this is a yes. It hits, the expression hits, the Polaroid is hilarious, and the photographer mug. The styling kind of matches, but again, your tattoos also kind of match the styling here. So yeah, I can't really knock him on the styling, the expression. It works. It's just the fact that he's at a desk and like looks like he's ready to get to business. Like, it's funny. Like, I think that this works and aligns with Doyle's personality. The quality of light is good. The light placement is good, and like the head angle, and like his the way his arms are, and like the way it looks boss like I want to work with this guy. Like, he looks like that part, like he's pulling me into this photo. So like, that's what I get from this. You give me your 2 cents.
Yeah, so Doyle, yours strobe lighting has become really great. I love what you're doing with strobes at the moment. And just to sum it up, this is undeniably Doyle, and that to me is a success, because what he's done with his self-portrait is he said, this is who I am. And because we know Doyle, we see that immediately. And still, if you didn't know Doyle, this photo makes him seem like the guy who you're interested in working with. So 100%. Wonderful, Doyle. Great stuff.
100%. Yeah, Doyle, like, again, I didn't know what to expect. And this is something, like, I never know what to expect when I ask you to make a self-portrait, because you care about them and really swing for the fences. This hits, and this is going to be, I want to see this on LinkedIn. Is like with the right copy, this is going to track. I'm very proud of you guys. This is Doyle Daniels. Doyle, that's an 11 for me.
Yeah, last comment from my side with Doyle's picture. Doyle is starting to live his brand. Like, this is who I am. This is how I show up. This is my personality. So well done, Doyle. Like, you phase 2, you've got it down.
Yeah, I mean, his packaging and understanding, like, his packaging triangle, his portfolio, his work, his sensibility, like, it's all really starting to come together. And we can just pull up Doyle's site just so you guys get a sense as to the type of photography that this guy makes. And when you see his work and you see it in its entirety, it, like, the photographer, it makes sense. And the way that he shoots and his subject matter, the way that he makes portraits, like, oh, this I haven't seen. Good shit, Doyle. He has something. He has it. And I'm looking forward to seeing that picture here. I'm looking forward to seeing that picture now, Doyle. This picture needs to now go here. And now it's a vertical picture, and then you just have this block of text next. I think it's time to swap. Well done, Doyle Daniels. That's an 11 for me, mister. Back to Garan Wrath in Cape Town, South Africa.
All right. Next up, we've got another one of our new accelerator members. This is done on a Sony a7 IV with a 24 to 70 millimeter lens, ISO 800, f4 at 1/800th of a second, natural plus small flash.
Oh my God. You're not ready for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Graves. Mike! This guy just broke the internet. This is so good. And again, it's underexposed. It's underexposed by, call it a third of a stop, maybe 2/3. Like, it's under, call it a third to a half of a stop. But brand, it's the same brand. He's wearing blue. The camera, his body language, just the sky as the background. The only thing is also, Mike, is you have your camera set for 16:9. You also have your camera set for, this here is, oops, we just broke. This is 16 and this is 9. That's like, you have your camera for 16:9. Your proportions should fit within this box perfectly without me having to change anything. And you can see how thin your picture is. So it is imperative that you change your camera ratio on the back of your camera to 2:3. The proportions need to be 2:3. And just visually looking at this, you can see that this isn't 2:3. This is 16:9. So, but Mike, other than that, this hits so hard. Please fix your ratio as soon as you see this. But this is a yes for me. This is a yes. Thoughts, G?
I'm just impressed that his focus is so sharp on his face. And the camera, the position the camera is in is great. It's a great concept. It's fun, and it really speaks to what Mike photographs and how he approaches his photography. So again, very well done, Mike. I think this is a great shot.
Yeah, this is unequivocally an 11. And Mike Graves is in chat. He just said fixed. So in other words, it was, you see, it was set for 16:9. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, make sure your cameras are always set for 2:3, because it never works for stills. And if you're using the same camera for video and stills, your camera will just put in letterbox in order to make the 16:9 when you shoot video. But I'd rather you be set up to be doing the stills properly. All right, G, who's next?
Right, next up, photographer says, for this week's assignment, I shot a self-portrait while capturing classic Chuck Taylor. So I suppose you can guess who this is already, Carty. Canon R3, RF28 to 70 millimeter, ISO 100, 1/8 of a second, f11 with 3 strobes.
I think I can guess who this is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Chris Foster. Chris, thanks for submitting, my guy. Thank you for submitting. So, clip in the shoe here, I see that because it's so predominant and it's something that's so much in the frame. Is just you're clipping the front of the shoe here. And also your horizon line on this is a little bit crooked. If I look at the table, here and try to like draw a line, I feel like the table is kind of going that way in this shot. Although back here, obviously in your monitor, it's all perfect. But the all black, the creative hat, the R3 tethered, the light, the grid, like this, it's almost there. And you're also, hey, Malik, thank you for becoming a member. My guy, Malik Brand, just became a member for 2 months. Malik, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that. So, Chris, give me your thoughts from a product photographer perspective, Garan.
So, Chris, I understand what you wanted to do here. I just feel the weight is off. The shoes are so dominant in the front, and with combined with their color, it's immediately where my eyes go. You've got such a strong composition. If the shoes were removed, with you, the screen behind you showing us what you're shooting,
right,
and the light would be chef's kiss. If you could redo this one, just remove the shoes in the foreground. I think it's enough them being behind you.
Okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to have your camera here as if it's tethered, but just take the shoes off of the plexi. Take them out, because then now exactly what Garan says, and they're also, because they're in the foreground, they just look so huge, like they're size 22 compared to you, like they look massive. So imagine, take the shoes out, and then you come in here and lean on that reflective table with your camera and show the tether monitor with a product shot behind you. Like, that's the shot, no? Like, you now become the foreground, and we can see a shot that you did behind you. Like, for me, that's the picture. That's what takes this to the next level. I mean, I think that's pretty simple and easy, no?
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to make this an 11.
But great light on him. Great light on his face.
Oh, yeah.
Great outfit.
No,
great separation between the black and him. And there's so many good elements that, I think we just got to take the shoes out and let that reflection be him. Like, he can punch in and let that reflection be him. I think it's going to be dope. So that's the one that I want to see on Tuesday. By the way, Chris Foster, if you can do it. Great submission, my guy. Thanks for submitting. That's Chris Foster, everybody. Garan, how many more?
Right. We have 3 more.
3 more photos. We got 50 people watching us. And just so you know, if you're new to tuning in, I'm Steve Carty. I've been a professional photographer for 35 years. You can see my work at stevecarty.com. Gran Rath has been a photographer for well over 10, comes from a videography background, and Garan is all the way in Cape Town, South Africa. Garan is my chief operations officer, and he helps me run the Carty method by request, because so many of the people who are in the Carty method, people in Portfolio Lab and Pro Lab and Accelerator, in my Accelerator, they get exposed to Garan so much because he's like my number one, my right hand. So they get exposed to him, but you guys don't really get exposed to him, you, my viewers. So by special request, I had an idea. It's like, should I bring Garan in for photo reviews sometimes? And it was such an overwhelming, like, please, yes, please bring Garan in for some photo reviews, that I started to do it. So this is our 3rd week in a row with Garan and I doing these photo reviews. Garan, what do you think? What's your take doing these reviews with me on Thursdays sometimes?
Well, it's look, I still take my hat off to you for being so comfortable on this side. And guys, being on this side of the camera still scares me, but under your guidance and watching you do it and sort of you bringing me into this become much easier. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy being part of the show and from prep to being part of it here. And if I'm giving people enough value and they want to keep seeing me, then I'll keep coming back. So
appreciate that, G. Well, I mean, it brings me value, and for me, it's like, it's a nice dichotomy between our two personalities, because I have a tendency to be hard on people just because of, I know, like, there's a method to my madness. There's a method to my madness. Gran brings like a fresh perspective, and he's like that counter to the way that I see photographs. And yeah, and he always brings something to me that it brings something to the table. It's like, yeah, you know, right, you're right, Gran, I do see that. And like, and he also relates, so he speaks so much to the people who are submitting directly, and he works with one-on-one so many of them, so he's invested in me liking the work too. So it's good. I really like this dynamic. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Okay, who do we got next, G?
Right, next up, our shooter says self-portrait in black and white, shot on a Canon R6 RF85 f2. Settings were ISO 200 f8 at 1/125th of a second, single strobe, newer Vision 4.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know this face. This is Mr. Joshua Haney. Joshua, let's get it on. Josh, this hits. Like, I love the quality of light. It's just over by, like, I'm going to call it a third of a stop. Like, we're going just a little bit too hot in parts of this area. I know this is direct sun. Is this direct sun, did he say, or strobe, or mixed?
No, strobe.
So
single strobe.
So it's just how close this strobe is, because I think this strobe is literally like, it feels like it's right here. It's almost a little too close. It's really giving you such a hot spot here, and you find like when you move the light back, it's a little bit more of a gradual transition. My going distance for, I usually light like about 6 feet away is usually like how far my lights are. So for this picture, the exposure here is just over, but all you need to do is give me this back and like print this down or expose this down like half a stop, which is like -50. Keep in mind with these, like once you start having to mess with exposure more than a third, it starts to affect the contrast. But there's such an amazing light quality in the reflector, like what you have coming in on this side, and this beautiful like bounce that you have coming in, Joshua, on this side. The Rembrandt is great, this pocket of light, and the fact that it's hard light, like it just works. It's just a little bit overexposed. Compositionally strong, cover composition, which is great. Looks great as an 8x10, which I would drop about there. G, give me your thoughts on this, please.
I think wonderful self-portrait, Joshua. And yeah, again, beautiful eye contact with the camera. It's an intense photograph. I've just looked at your website. It is on fire at the moment. So
Okay, we
well
gotta see
done
it.
to that. Yeah.
We got to see it.
Carty, can you just double check me? I just wanted, like, the eye seems ever so slightly. If there's one thing I'd love for Josh to look at, is the eye looks ever so slightly soft.
Okay.
But by very little. Maybe it's just my screen is too far away from me.
Yeah, I mean, we're always trying to focus on the close eye. And in this case, because you're so straight on, like, is there really a close eye? Well, not really. But there is a dominant one, and that's the one that has the most light. And Garen's saying it's just a touch soft. And the reason is because the tack sharp is on the frame. The tack sharp is on the frame, and the eye is just a touch behind the frame, right? So his eye tracking grabbed the frame. Because if you look at here in the frame, and also remember when we're shooting like with such high megapixel, high resolution cameras, you're gonna have to wash your glasses and get all the dust and all this stuff off your frame, because we see everything. You see everything. But that's the reason, G. That's the reason that the eye feels just a touch soft. It's because it's the frame that he's like, that the camera's biting on. This is a good swing. I would like to see a reprocessing. Also consider a picture like this black t-shirt, so it gives you just a little bit of separation from that gray background. You're wearing like a neutral mid t-shirt, which makes the overall shot feel a little lower contrast, and it's a very high contrast picture. If you give me a black t-shirt, then it gives me a little bit more black point than the shadow points, and the background, it gives a nice separation. So I'd personally love to see this picture reshot. That's Joshua Haney, everybody. Thanks for submitting, Joshua. It's a good swing, Jay. Good swing,
Yeah, very well done. Perfect.
Who do we got next?
Okay, second to last, we have one of our ProLab shooters. Here's my self-portrait submission shot with a Canon R5 plus 50mm lens, ISO 200 f5.6 at 1/60th of a second, ProPhoto B10 plus a softbox.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this shooter, it's impossible not to like this guy. He's so likable, and he continues the train with this likability with another self-portrait. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frank Tom. Frank. Other than the body language on the car, I think that you need to square up a little bit because you're a little side saddled. I think you need to square up, plant both your feet on the floor. But I do like the fact that I'm seeing the hookah brand and the orange in the shoes and on the straps kind of match the orange in the bag. I love the location. I love the light. It's just a body language. I just want you to be squared up. But oh my God, this hits very, very, very hard. It could be a car ad. I feel like you're a little tight on the car, like you're cutting the product for Garan, who also you shoot cars, you know, like you want that to be a little looser and maybe show a little bit more of what brand of car this is. But the car is brand new, shiny, clean, looks like it's within the last like 12 months that you got this car. The bags, the snoot, the light, like the camera body. Where's your lens hood? Where's your lens hood? Hard lens hoods come with those L series lenses. We lose lens hoods, buddy. Look at me. Look at me. Where's your hood? Where's your hood? But for me, I love it. I love it. Really good exposure. Really comfortable and approachable and likable. I just want you to reshoot this like squared up, so you're not like on the side, but you're just like, you know what I mean? Kind of boss a little bit more squared up. And rather than projecting your energy, because again, the energy comes from your heart, and you got a big heart, Frank. So rather than your heart projecting out that way, square up and project that forward to the viewer. Okay. And also that's gonna square your shoulders. You know what I mean? Because you can see this then now all starts to look like too leany. So I just want to reset that. And that's also going to give you like leg down here and leg down there. And that balance is going to bring your eye down to this bag. We'll still see the hookah logo. We'll still see that. Then I'll ask you to just pull back a bit so we can see the body lines of the car and a little bit of the wheels. Because again, this becomes a lifestyle picture. I love the light. I love the location. Yeah, it's a really good idea. And then also, I think that just looking at the way that the trunk is opening kind of sideways, it means like I would hit the car straight on. So it's a very like symmetrical trunk, and the way the hood opens and everything is symmetrical. Give me your thoughts, G.
Well, you've said everything I wanted to say, boss. So I'm just going to reiterate. I'm so jealous of the light. It's absolutely gorgeous. Those pro photos just make such pretty light. And I agree with you completely. If the car was hit really square on and Frank squared up, in this case, squaring up because he's in the box of the car, you know, in the back of the car, I think that would have worked really well. Nothing wrong with this. That would be a better body language and put out a stronger image. But I love the gear all around, and I really like the green in the background. It speaks again to your brand, Frank, that you are an adventure shooter. You're outside, you work with active people. So well done. Really, really great shot.
And you look fit too. Like that's another thing. Like you look fit, arms look good. Just square up, you know. And again, that's sadly you're gonna have to reshoot this picture or send me all the edits that you did. But this is so strong. And just to look at Frank Tom's site, just to show you the last time I asked Frank to make a self-portrait. This is Frank Tom's work, by the way, for you guys watching at home. Frank is in ProLab. Frank has gone through the Carty method system one phase at a time on his own. And the amount of work that Frank did, he literally is one of my top Carty method members. He's one of my top guys, and he's come so the last time I asked him to make a self-portrait, he made this. And Frank, look at the body language. Look at how you're squared up. This is exactly what I'm asking for. And if you look at this picture and you see how you're just a little bit leaned to the side, kind of just changes your body language a bit. You see how it just looks so great here, and right down to the boots. You can imagine you can give me a version of this, but you're sitting on the trunk of your car, bro. Just give me the same version of this, I feel. And even the light quality is super, super great. So for me, I love this, Frank. I really do. But it doesn't hit as hard as this one. So you need to keep shooting it and get this one as hard. So you have a location version and a studio version. I would love that. And I love you working out of a car. This gives me an idea to do a behind, a self-portrait of myself. Seeing this picture, I'm like, okay, I might have to jack that idea with, let me go wash my brand new white truck and blah, 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 and have gear in the trunk. Yeah, you're making me want to make this picture. Frank, very good swing. I'm giving you an 11 with the stipulation that you're reshooting this with a little bit of a shift of the body language. Garan, are we at our last photo? Are we at our last photo?
Yep.
And again, I'm still blown away that you're in Cape Town and I'm here, and we're doing together filtering out to YouTube live. I'm kind of blown away by the technology and the fact that we're doing this for free, because it's not costing me any money to bring Garan in. I'm not using any paid service. But the thing I want you to look at is the quality of Garan's shot and how am I doing that? How am I bringing this guy in with no delay and bringing his camera feed in this high quality? Garan, who's our last shot?
All right, our last shot's one of our very own, one of the cartel members, and all he says is, "Oh, hello there. My name is Amond." Shot with a Fuji X-T5 56mm f1.2 ISO 125 f8 at 1/125th of a second, 2 strobe setups, negative fill on the side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our last shot of the day is Mr. the one that he can go by one name. We call him Amond. Let's get it on, Amond. Very well done, dude. This hits. For me, it looks like you're scratching your elbow here, which is kind of like an in-between. But the light on your face is great. You could also just simply have your arms here. You know what I mean? Arms here. The table and using the table is really helpful. Background is great. I just want you to, because you're using your pop-up background and it's a little bit close to you, I'm seeing a little bit, or if you're using paper, I'm seeing a little bit of these wrinkles in here. So I'm hoping that you can do a little bit of cleanup, but the wood matches your skin tone. It acts as a little bit of a bounce. The quality of light on your face is great. Your head angle is great. It's definitely likable. I wish maybe some sort of elements on the table, a notebook, a laptop, memory cards, a lens, something, so it makes it feel a little bit more it's not an actor headshot, but it's a photographer's headshot. So also, just watch your elbows here and how close we're getting to the frame. That's like great light, Amond. Great attitude in the expression. It looks like you're itching on your elbow, so I would want a different frame from this, like maybe again arms crossed down here or something, but I know you shot more than one frame. This is a yes, it hits, and it's very likable. You're like sweeter. You look like the bad boy that all the girls wanted in high school. Like that's what you're kind of looking like in this picture. But it hits, man. It hits. I just want to possibly see a different pose, but definitely from your last self-portrait, this is very elevated. Give me your 2 cents, G.
I love seeing how Amond he's really getting so good with his lighting. The light in the shot for me is exceptional. And again, the eye contact is great. The pose is intense. When you get to know Amond, personally for me, Amond first came across as this very intense guy, but he's actually just so helpful and so nice. So I think this is a great shot for me. It really portrays Amond. But again, like you say, maybe that fist on the right hand could have been a bit more open. But the lighting is stunning, and the composition, the headroom, I think works.
Yeah, I mean, I really have gotten to know Amond over and again, Amond's been with me for like a year and a half. I'm really getting to know him, and like I gotta be honest. The reason that I didn't say anything about the light is because the light was just right. Did you notice? When the light is right, G, I don't even comment on the light. I didn't comment on the light at all because the light is perfect. So I'm just commenting on the small things that aren't perfect. And again, Eamon, I don't want that to feel like that I'm like doing this. It's just right now the way that we're up here. You know what I mean? You've ran like 20 miles of the 26 miles. And yes, it's like there's lots of back pats, but we still have a finish line to go. So I'm always trying to tune. And yes, for me, after this amount of time with me working with photo reviews with Ammon, I would hope by now his light is dialed. Like I would hope by now, and it is. You know what I mean? So that part, this just makes me feel good. This is a really good swing. Great quality of light, great exposure, and Ammon gets it. This is a yes for me, G. This is a yes. Absolutely. This is a yes. So, what if I make you pick the photos of the week? Do you see his face? Do you see his face? Yo, this guy just went red, yo. His face just went red, like live. I'm like, gee, what if I make you pick the photos of the week, my guy? What if it's you? What if it's you? I mean, it's so funny because okay, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna pick your photos of the week, and if I miss any, then you're gonna add. How's that? Is that fair? Is that fair?
Okay.
I think that's fair. I'm okay. Let us pick the photos of the week. Give us 30 seconds while you watch. Creating content for you on YouTube has been an incredible journey, and I cannot thank you enough for your support. If my videos are helping you with your photography business, I've got something super exciting to share: the Carty Method YouTube memberships. When you hit the join button, you unlock exclusive perks that take your experience with me to the next level. Here's what's in it for you. First, your support keeps all my live broadcasts completely ad-free. No distractions, just pure focus on growing your photography skills and business. Second, you get access to my members only community posts where I share behind the scenes updates. I give you sneak peeks of upcoming shoots and projects that I'm working on. Third, you're going to stand out in my chat with a crown badge next to your name that upgrades the longer that you're a member. It's a slick way to show your support and be recognized in the community. And let's talk about those custom emotes. These are photography related, exclusive to members, and perfect for making your comments in my live chat stand out. Joining unlocks exclusive live streams and live chats, which give you access to secret, unscheduled content. Just last month, I brought members into the studio to watch me light, shoot, and direct a subject. This kind of insider content is only for members. And here's the big one. Your questions get priority answers in my comments. It's like having a fast pass for personalized feedback. All of this is yours for just $4.99 a month. That's $5. Your support helps me create even better content, connect with you in new ways, and grow this incredible community. And by the way, whether you choose to join or not, I want you to know how much I appreciate you being here. Together, we're building a very strong, vibrant photography community. My number one goal is to help you turn your photography dreams into reality. So if you're ready to take it to the next level, hit that join button right now. All right, I'm excited about this, G, and this is difficult. It's difficult, but I'm just getting through. I'm just getting through this, man. It's so hard because there's many. There's many.
It was a good week.
Yeah, it was. But I'm going to be generous with photos of the week and less generous with best in show. Does that feel fair?
Correct. That sounds good.
Okay, so if you look at my show notes, in the bottom of the show notes, you look at the bottom of the show notes, you can see my list. We're starting right now. Okay. And you tell me, you get in on that list. If you think I'm missing somebody, you got to step in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first photo of the week on the self-portrait category. First photo of the week on the self-portrait category. Very excited about this shooter. His name is Steve Bordeaux with a photo of the week. Steve Bordeaux. Well done, Steve. Congratulations. And of course, thank you for submitting. Steve Bordeaux is our first photo of the week. Second photo of the week. Second photo of the week for this photographer. Her name, Miss Denise Tuggle. Denise, photo of the week, girl. Let's get it on. Very proud of you. Very proud of you for putting yourself out there. Very proud of you. I'm so happy. And look how proud of you with this camera, because you and this camera are one. I'm so proud of your progress. You deserve this photo of the week, Denise Tuggle. All right. Next photo of the week. Mr. William Sedgwick. Sedgwick. You getting photo of the week from this one, my guy. It's so likable, approachable, really good quality of light. Just remember all the stuff that we said. Very well done. That is William Sedgwick with a photo of the week, my guy. Next photo of the week goes to a guy who shoots cars. This one, his name, Mr. Mike Morrison. Mike, that is a photo of the week. Congratulations, Mike Morrison. Well done, well shot, well executed. Thanks for submitting. Mike Morrison. Our next photo of the week goes to my youngest shooter. This is Marcus Mack. Marcus, this hit so hard and brought me such joy. I'm so happy with you right now, Marcus Mack. Good shit. That is Marcus Mack, and that is a photo of the week. Well done, Marcus. Photos of the week, they keep on coming. This photographer hasn't submitted in a while in my accelerator program. Proud of this shooter. His name, Mr. Gary Rishi. Gary, that is a photo of the week, my guy, in the self-portrait category. Congratulations, Gary Rishi. Well done, Gary. Well done. This is one of my photographers. He's in my accelerator program. He shoots architecture. His name is Samuel Salling. And Samuel, that is a self-portrait photo of the week. My guy, congratulations. Very, very, very well executed. Samuel Salling. This guy lives in Portugal. Badass. His name, Daniel Van Cleef. This guy crushes self-portraits. Look at him. He's so handsome. He shoots them very well, and he shoots them in a very specific style that keeps me wanting to look at him. He's a very likable guy, and he's really just finding his stride right now. Van Cleef, proud of you. Next shooter photo of the week. You know him. You love him. His name starts with a D, ends with a D. Doyle Daniels. Let's get it on. Doyle. That's a photo of the week, my guy. He liked the letter D so much, his mama named him twice. Doyle Daniels. Let's get it on. He's got 2 first names. Don't get it twisted. He knows what's going on. Next photo of the week from this guy. His name, Mr. Mike Graves. Mike. This photo brought me joy. I'm very happy and proud of you. I would like another execution. I would like you to continue to do this as if it's a series. Imagine a series of these. Very well done, Mr. Mike Graves. Next photo of the week goes to this photographer. He's been with me for about 18 months. This guy, his name, Joshua Haney. Joshua, well done. That is a photo of the week in the self-portrait category. Well done, Mr. Haney. Again, lots of them. This is why, like, photos of the week and also, like, the self-portrait assignment is so important. So important. So, photo of the week. This guy, his name, Frank Tom. Frank Tom. Let's get it on. Another one of my shooters with 2 first names. Frank Tom. Well done. But he spells it like Tom York. Thom. Frank Tom. Don't get it twisted. Well done, Frank. And our last and final photo of the week goes to the man with one name. You know him as Ammond. Let's get it on, Ammond. Well done, my guy. Very well done. It's photo of the week. So we do have some best in shows. The best in shows are chosen from the photos of the week. These are unequivocally no changes needed, straight my favorite shots of the day. And I have 3. I have 3 photos of the week best in show. So from my photos of the week, we have 3 best in show, starting with this photographer. His name is Samuel Salling. Samuel, just for an architecture photographer, absolutely unequivocally yes. One of my favorite shots of the week. That is Samuel Salling. My second most favorite shot of the week comes from another man with 2 first names. His, Doyle Daniels. This guy, that's a best in show for me, Mr. Doyle Daniels. Congratulations. Congratulations. That is a best in show. And lastly, my favorite shot of the week, my favorite shot of the day, and my last and final best in show. This goes to Mr. Marcus Mack. Marcus, congratulations. That is my favorite shot of the day. Definitely a best in show. And to remind you guys that on Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is in 45 minutes, we do a hangout on Zoom. Today's no different. Our Zoom hangout, you only get access to this Zoom link if you're inside Portfolio Lab. We provide the Zoom link in community. What are we talking about today during our workshop, Mr. Garan Rath?
You are going to show us how to process our images from raw to final. So that I think is going to prove absolutely invaluable to a lot of our members. As we've noted, some of our shots are a little bit overworked, and I think your very clean and simple, or not simple, but your very clean workflow is going to help a lot of our members.
I'm a little simple.
And,
I'm a little simple. Hey, Rudy, welcome. Thanks for subscribing, my guy. Appreciate you being here. So the thing that I see most often is missing exposure and then missing processing. So those two things, well, let me help you with exposure and let me help you with processing. So I'm in the middle of scripting a video we're going to be talking about in-camera metering, all the things that you need to know, center weighted, spot, average, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show you how I use my camera to achieve good exposure, perfect exposure. And then I'm going to talk about light meters and how I use a light meter to get perfect exposure, and when I use a light meter and the two different angles. It's super important for you to know that your camera lies, but how to get the best exposure out of a thing that lies to you. Every single time you point it, it's lying. So I need to teach you how your camera lies, when your camera will lie, and how to counter it, and then how to use a light meter, because light meters don't lie. So how to use a light meter, because light meters don't lie. And by the way, manual mode on your camera means not wing it. Manual means manual input. So if you have another source, like a light meter, it's so far, it's on the other edge of the room. But if you have another source like a light meter, you take the light meter reading, and then because the camera's in manual mode, you're able to manually set aperture, ISO, and shutter speed. So you transfer the reading from the meter into your camera. So light meter readings and how to use a light meter, I'm making a video on that because it's so important. If you are in the workshop today, I will be talking I'll show you my new Sekonic Lightmaster Pro and how to use it, how to read it. But I am going to make a video on it. But I do have a different video that's trying to come out tomorrow. I'm working with my editor to try to get this video out for tomorrow. But trying to get a bunch of videos, so I have them filmed like weeks ahead. That's kind of the goal, so I can get back onto my schedule of releasing a video every Friday. Definitely helps me if you watch them, because if my subscribers do not watch my videos, they tank. So if you see a new video in your feed from me, please click that watch button. And also, I played my join video. I got to tell you a secret. I'm trying to, commercials kill content. And commercials kill, like, if you click my video and you just want to watch my video and a commercial plays, like, that sucks. And like, I have YouTube Premium. You should have YouTube Premium. It's $15. If you're in the States, it's probably $10 for you to have no commercials on YouTube. It's the best $10 you'll ever spend. So just sign up for YouTube Premium. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to have this number right here that's currently at 186. I'd like to have that number at 1,000. Because if I had 1,000 members, I wouldn't have to have like any commercials on any of my, like, once my live stream is over, I put commercials on it. But I wouldn't do that if I had 1,000 members. Like on my videos, sure, because they get like sometimes over 100,000 views. Like when I get a video like that, like it definitely helps me to have ads because I make, money on those. But for my live streams and for my past live streams, my replays, I'd love to have no video, no commercials on that, but I can't do that without your help. All you need to do is hit the join button. Hit the join button, give me $5, and if I get 1,000 people who do that, which means like another 800 people who do that, no more commercials on my lives and my replays. And we would start there. And if it really starts to go, then if I get that many members, I'll have a whole other like content stream that I'm making just for members. But I can't start making real difficult members only content until I have more members. So please consider hitting the join button. Duran, did I miss anything from our housekeeping?
Yes, very important. We need to talk about next Thursday, what is
Oh,
happening with you.
shit.
And yeah,
All right, fair enough. So next Thursday is my birthday. Next Thursday I turn 55 years old. 5'5". Crazy. And also photo reviews. So next week, Thursday, I'm not doing photo reviews. We're doing a special celebration birthday show, just hanging out, talking with you, doing a little bit of Ask Me Anything. But we're also extending how long you have to do the pro level assignments. So rather than 1 week to do the Converse shoot, you have 2. So the assignments that I give on Thursday, you have 2 weeks to do them. So next Thursday is a break week, birthday celebration. And then the week after, I'm going to be looking at your Converse pictures that you've had 2 weeks to make. But next week, I'll give you an assignment, but you'll also have 2 weeks to make that one. So that's the first thing. What else did I miss? The assignment.
please.
No, we don't have one yet. We don't have one because we don't have the assignment for next week because we're not doing photo reviews. They have the assignment that I gave. Oh shit, that's right. They don't know what it is. All right, never mind. Okay, so do you want to know what the assignment is that you're doing? If you didn't watch on Tuesday, then you wouldn't know. So my most successful, most liked assignment, the ones that people enjoyed the most so far this year, is the Nike assignment that I gave. So what we're doing is we are revisiting advertising and product advertising and photography advertising by creating a Converse campaign lead image. Meaning, rather than choosing Nike, I want you to use Converse. The brief is simple. Converse needs a new lead image that embodies creativity, rebellion, and authentic self-expression. You have to capture the daring spirit of youth and celebrate personal expression through movement and style. Now, you need to shoot a pair of Converse, preferably Chuck Taylors. If you're a people shooter, create an authentic portrait showing creative confidence and rebellious spirit. Think artists, musicians, skaters, anyone who embodies Converse's creative freedom. Keep it natural and unposed, with the sneakers feeling like a natural part of their personal style. If you shoot places, find environments that reflect Converse's cultural heritage. Creative spaces, urban landscapes, music venues, art studios, street culture hotspots, basketball courts. This setting should feel lived in and authentic, supporting the brand's message of creativity and rebellion. And if you shoot things, style a pair of Converse sneakers as tools of self-expression alongside creative elements like art supplies, musical instruments, personal items. Show the shoes as part of a creative lifestyle, not just a fashion accessory. This is a horizontal double page image. So horizontal, as if you're shooting 2 pages in a magazine. This is why Converse ads matter. Converse represents creativity and authenticity over pure athletics. This assignment is going to teach you how to photograph lifestyle and culture rather than just products, which is essential for editorial, lifestyle, and brand photography. You're going to learn how to capture authentic moments that resonate with audiences who value individuality and creative expression. So, Converse, I want to see what you're doing. And you have 2 weeks to do it. What's the official date that this picture will be due? Not July 16th, but July 24th. So July 24th at midnight, and we'll be looking at them on July 25th. Guys, that's it. We're doing a workshop today. I'm showing you how to process images. In order to get into that workshop, you need the Zoom link. In order to get the Zoom link, you have to join Portfolio Lab. Simple. Go to thecartymethod.com/Portfolio Lab. Keep in mind, if you're a part of Portfolio Lab, not only do I review your photos up to 8 times per month, I also give you access to me and my entire team 4 times a month. every Thursday. So today's one of them. Happens in 30 minutes. Garan, say bye to the nice people.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing it with me, G. Guys, you at home, thank you. Everybody who submitted, thank you. Everybody who won Photo of the Week, congratulations. Those who won Best in Show, woohoo! If you didn't submit, you should be submitting. You need a feedback loop. You need a feedback loop. You need somebody telling you, this is great, this is shit. You need someone telling you so they can help you find your target. Every great athlete has a coach. Michael Jordan has a coach. Literally, just think of how one would get to the best ranking sport, Olympics. How would you do that without a coach? Impossible. How do you think you're going to be the top 1% of this photography industry without also having a coach and a feedback loop? That's what I do for people. This is the Carty Method. Thank you so much for watching.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Hey, Big T, back for 10 months. Let's go. Thank you for rejoining. Guys, I appreciate you. I'll see you in Zoom. And if you're not privileged enough to be in Zoom, you can change that just by going to thecartymethod.com/portfolio lab and joining. Poor people use money to save time. No, that's bad. Poor people use time to save money. Rich people use money to save time.